Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be talking about two instances that happened over the past weekend involving two separate police departments that have made national headlines. So I just wanted to talk about that. The first being the tragic shooting of by LAPD, and then the second part is talking about Kohen Wiley, the 1-year-old in Mississippi that was shot by police while they were apparently trying to incapacitate a moving vehicle, responding to a call about fucking someone stealing diapers. So before we get into that, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe for more. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Anger mounts in Senatobia over police killing of 1-year-old Kohen Wiley. People scattered in a Walmart parking lot on Tuesday as law enforcement officers who were wearing gas masks and lined up under the store's grocery side entrance unleashed tear gas on the crowd that had gathered to protest the police killing of 1-year-old Kohen Wiley. 2 days earlier, on June 14th, the young black child died after a Senatobia police officer fired into a moving car, killing him and injuring the driver. Officers who had been responding to a call alleging that someone had tried to steal a box of diapers claimed that the car was driving toward the officer when he fired, a claim that some witnesses have disputed, which I'm sure when the body cam footage gets released, if it ever gets released, will verify the officer's story. And even if it does, I'm not familiar with Senatobia Police Department training, but most police departments tell you not to shoot at a moving vehicle. That is not how you incapacitate or resolve that situation at all. Let's say you go and hit the driver. Now you have an out of control vehicle. I don't know. I guess we'll find out later in this article if the driver was actually hit by police, but in their attempt to hit him or her, they killed a 1-year-old child. And again, the original call was responding to stolen diapers. You mean to tell me Senatobia police could not have just let that vehicle go and then called it in and engaged in a chase or whatever the fucking case may be, or ran the plates and done a house call? I don't know. Anything better than just firing blindly into a moving vehicle. On Tuesday evening, the mayor and the Senatobia Board of Aldermen placed the officer on administrative leave. He has not been publicly identified, although he has through community activists. I believe his name is Hunter Brown, but I will verify that after we finish this article. Hours earlier, 200 people gathered about a mile away from the Walmart in downtown Senatobia outside City Hall, voicing exasperated anguish over the child's death. Leon White, a Senatobia resident since 1999, raised a protest sign that read, "The people demand end to police terror." Along a section of Front Street cornered off by police with snipers perched atop a row of vintage storefronts that include a soda shop and pharmacy, he walked with others angrily shouting, "No justice, no peace," in one accord and yelling profanities aimed at police. While the White said, that the city's residents' tension and distrustful relations with police, that is a horribly worded sentence, has been a problem that has been building for a long time. For many years, the police force was fine, but in recent years, I don't know why it's become a big problem. I mean, I'm sure we can figure out with the rise in the right wing and the rise in the authoritative state, and how more socially acceptable especially from a bureaucratic, from our politicians, to accept kind of like the crackdown of authority. Police feel emboldened to act more violent and act more unjust because they have the support of the state. He blames it partly, but sharply, on inadequate safety training. He added that Senatobia does not have a crime problem. Indeed, Senatobia's crime rate is below the national average and one of the lowest crime rates in Mississippi. And Mississippi, as a state, is very high in crime. The city has a population of about 8,500 residents, around 40% of whom are black. Its police force is composed of about 30 officers. We are like a big family here. People come from all over the immediate area to shop. Video evidence won't be released during the investigation, of course. 2 blocks away from City Hall, on the steps of the Tate County Courthouse, Mississippi Department of Public Safety Commissioner John Tyndall sought to calm the furor Bowing to transparency once the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation finishes investigating Kohen Wiley's shooting. While protesters heckled him, Tyndall said the FBI will thoroughly review information provided by witnesses and the videos that captured the shooting, including officers' vest cameras and Walmart security camera footage. It's important to us to interview witnesses without the threat of intimidation. It's important that we keep civility during this process so we can get to the bottom of it and analyze all the evidence and ultimately make it available to you all. He did not provide any new details on the shooting itself. Tyndall said 5 MDPS agents have been assigned to investigate the tragic shooting in coordination with the state attorney general's office. He said it would be up to local law enforcement to determine whether the allegations of shoplifting were credible. Wiley's family has denied allegations of shoplifting, and from things that I have seen, there wasn't any actual shoplifting. Apparently, the diapers were paid for, and there was a receipt. So I'm sure that will also come out as part of this investigation. Tyndall, in response to a reporter's questions, said no video evidence will be released until the conclusion of the investigation because sometimes when video evidence is released early, witnesses won't come forward because they feel like the case has been closed at that point. And by witnesses, who are you referring to? Because right now we are the if you're talking about the witnesses for the shoplifting, it's very easy to find out whether or not somebody shoplifted. The evidence is very easy to find. It's on camera and you have a receipt of purchase that matches the items. The only witnesses I feel like you would be protecting would be the other officers in that immediate area who would be too frightened to actually tell you the truth of what happened once the video camera footage comes out, which would be that there was no actual threat to the officer who shot and the car was probably just driving off. Kind of similar to like oh my god, the Renee Good situation with ICE. And they allege that she was trying to run them over with her vehicle as well, and she was driving in the wheels were turned in the opposite direction. Shirley Hardin, who lives in nearby Como, Mississippi, said poor relations between residents and Senatobia police go back years. She pointed to Senatobia's police arrest of an 11-year-old boy for urinating outside the jail in 2024. Great stuff, guys. You're really cracking down on the hardened criminals. Betterston Wade was so troubled by Kohen Wiley's shooting that she drove from her home in Jackson, Mississippi to participate in the protest. She's no stranger to losing loved ones after encounters with police. A jury convicted a Jackson police officer in the 2019 death of her brother George Robinson, though an appeals court overturned the conviction in 2024. Of course. Her son, Dexter Wade, died after a Jackson police cruiser struck him in March 2023, and she searched for him for months until August 2023 when she learned that he had died and the city had buried him in an unmarked pauper's grave. How fucking cruel and inhumane is that? And this is the shit that irks me about people who hang that stupid fucking black and white flag with the blue stripe or their blue lives no matter what. They don't ever respond to shit like this. They don't ever respond to stories like this, because I would love to hear what the defense is for shit like this. People who are police dick riders and who never want police to ever have accountability or any kind of form of oversight. We're just like, no, you have to follow law and order because that's the rules and you can't break the rules. How do you justify any of this? You have a 1-year-old dead. You have, in the case of this lady, her son was hit by a police officer. The city didn't even notify her, and they buried her son in an unmarked grave. And her brother got killed by another officer. Whenever police fuck up and they get sued, that money is not coming from the police unions or the police department's budget. That is coming from us. We have to be accountable for police officers' actions. We are in the 21st century, not the 1960s, and we are still dealing with unjustified police violence, Betterston Wade told the Mississippi Free Press. We are mad and exhausted, but we won't go away quietly into the night. Brittany Fallon from Olive Branch, Mississippi said many residents just want justice for the child. Many others are upset at what they believe is a trend because things have constantly been going on like this down here in town in Mississippi, and it needs to stop. He could have easily been your child, my child, anybody's child. Fallon continued, we want the same justice for this child that would be served down to our African-American generation if it was one of us. This has to end. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, which is investigating the shooting, said earlier this week that officers were responding to a shoplifting call in Senatobia on Sunday. They encountered two subjects and a juvenile child fleeing from the store into a vehicle. As police tried to stop the vehicle, the Bureau said the driver drove towards officers and almost hit one. An officer then shot at the vehicle before it left. Cohen's mother, Valencia Wiley, said in a video posted to social media Wednesday that she was leaving the Walmart with her son when her friend was stopped by police. I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me, she said. Wiley said her friend then got into the vehicle and began to reverse, adding that when police officers drew their guns, she lifted up her son to show them that he was in the car. By the time I sat my baby back down, it was like 3 or 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, the other shots hit her friend in her arm and her thigh. They then drove to the hospital, but Cohen was later pronounced dead. Carolyn Stokes, Cohen's great grandmother, told Newsweek on Wednesday that she believed the officer had acted impulsively. It was reckless. It was unnecessary to be firing into a car, Stokes said during an interview. Why did you draw your weapon on people that were potential shoplifters? Why did you not go into the store? Because they were rushing from the store. They could have just been in a hurry. And I wonder if the family has some sort of GoFundMe. Let's see. GoFundMe. Because I feel like that's always important in videos like this. Like I do think it's important to talk about stories like this, but it's also important to add a call to action, something that we can do to support the family. So it looks like this might be their GoFundMe, but I'm not entirely sure if this is the actual one. This is made by Christopher Williams, organizer in Senatobia, Mississippi. So it looks like this link created by Christopher Williams is the link for their GoFundMe. So if you guys can, please donate if possible. I believe this is the GoFundMe for the family. So yeah, rest in peace to Cohen, rest in peace to James. Remember ACAB, all cops are bastards, and shit has to change. See y'all in the next video.